I want to welcome in Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter. Great to see you this morning, Congressman. So we have been seeing a range of ties, 1-point or 2-point leads in battlegrounds, and Quinnipiac has him at 52% to Harris's 45%. That's sizable. We know he lost Georgia barely in 2020, but what are you seeing now, 4 years later?
4 years later, I see Donald Trump winning Georgia and winning Georgia big. I'm telling you, we are ready to vote for Donald Trump. Come hurricane or high water, people in Georgia are inspired right now. They're encouraged. They want to get out and they want to go and vote. You see record-breaking numbers that we've had the first couple of days of early voting. There's a lot of excitement building on the ground here in the state of Georgia.
And I know that yesterday a Georgia judge struck down several election rules that were passed by the Senate Elections Board. The judge calling the rules illegal, unconstitutional, and void. Two of these new measures included a requirement to hand count ballots and a directive to have the clerks investigate irregularities before certifying their results. So are you concerned about these rule changes now that voting has already started, or is this not a concern for you?
No, it is obviously somewhat of a concern. And one of the questions I get most often when I'm on the trail, on the campaign trail, people are asking me, well, is this going to be a secure election? Are we going to have the same problems we had in 2020? And I would submit to them that no, we are in much better shape with our election process now than we were 4 years ago, thanks to our state legislature who passed the election integrity law, and thanks to our state elections boards who are making changes that will assure that we're going to have an accurate, fair election this year.
And I know your district was hit really hard by Hurricane Helene nearly 3 weeks ago now. Thousands still without power, residents still trying to rebuild their homes and their lives. Are you or your constituents worried about being able to get to their polling locations and to be able to vote? Does this hurricane impact voter turnout?
That's a great question and a great point because, yes, there are some places that have been devastated. This was the most devastating storm that we've ever seen here in the state of Georgia, at least in my lifetime. And I will tell you, but we're making arrangements to where people can get out and vote. People right now are inspired. They're encouraged. They want to vote. And again, come hurricane or high water, we're going to make sure that we vote in the state of Georgia. We're not going to let 2020 happen again. 2024 is going to be different this time.
So I know that your state experienced tragedy after the murder of nursing student Laken Riley, allegedly at the hands of Jose Ibarra, who entered this country illegally from Venezuela back in 2022. Kamala Harris was asked about Laken Riley and the other young women who were allegedly murdered by illegal migrants who should not have been in this country to begin with. And she was asked if she owes them an apology. Here's how she responded to that.
Do you owe those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There is no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. If a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur.
So she brings up the border security bill. She doesn't offer an apology. It's worth noting Jose Ibarra came over to our country in 2022, long before this border bill was even being discussed. What's your reaction to that?
Well, here we have a reaction from the border czar, who was supposed to be in charge of this, who failed us, failed the American people, resulting in the death of Laken Riley and others. This is, and Georgians are going to remember this. They're not going to forget this at all. They will remember this when they go to the polls, and they'll remember it when they vote. She was supposed to be in charge. She failed. Try as she may, she is not going to be able to get her fingerprints off of the policies of the Biden-Harris administration of the past 4 years.
I think you're absolutely right. People are not forgetting Laken Riley at all. She should be a thriving college student right now. She should not be dead. Congressman Buddy Carter, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.